The orbital defense station Nuva 1 hung silently above humanity's most advanced extrasolar colony, its sensors scanning the endless void of space. Lieutenant Jenna Davidson's midnight watch shift had been routine until the anomalous readings appeared on her console. Multiple objects, massive in scale, were decelerating from faster-than-light travel just beyond the colony's defensive perimeter. "Director Patel," she called, her voice steady despite the surge of adrenaline. "We have unknown contacts approaching from Vector 227. Rajesh Patel, Director of Colonial Defense, moved swiftly to her station. A veteran of Earth's Space Force with 30 years of experience, he had been selected to protect humanity's most ambitious colonial project. Numbers. 7 vessels, sir. Largest is approximately 3 kilometers in length. Nothing in our database matches their configuration." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. After 2 centuries of space exploration, humanity had finally encountered an alien civilization. Governor Marcus Torres received the news in his office within the colonial capital of New Valentia. At 63, he had overseen Nuva-Terra's growth from a fledgling outpost to a thriving world of 2 million souls. "Initiate first contact protocols," he ordered, his weathered face illuminated by holographic displays. "And get me Professor Huang from the Xenological Department." Within hours, Professor Wei Huang, the colony's leading expert in theoretical xenology, had assembled his team in the governor's crisis center. "We've prepared for this moment," he reminded them, adjusting his wire-rimmed glasses. "Everything we know suggests that any spacefaring civilization capable of interstellar travel must have moved beyond warfare and conquest." How wrong they would prove to be. The alien vessels maintained their distance, responding to Nuva-Terra's greeting broadcasts with their own transmission. The message, when decoded, was surprisingly clear. "We are the Xaverian Empire. We come in peace and seek diplomatic exchange." The first meeting was arranged aboard a neutral station hastily constructed between the 2 fleets. Governor Torres led the human delegation, accompanied by Professor Huang and a small security detail led by Commander Olivia Nash, head of Colonial Special Forces. The Xaverians were striking in appearance tall, elegant beings with silvery skin and 4 arms, their movements fluid and precise. Their leader, High Emissary Culver, spoke through a translation device that rendered his complex language into perfect English. "Your achievement in establishing this colony is impressive," Culver said, his large, multifaceted eyes studying the humans. "The Xaverian Empire spans 500 systems. We offer friendship and the exchange of knowledge." For 3 days, the discussions progressed smoothly. The Xaverians shared astronomical data, discussed trade possibilities, and expressed interest in cultural exchange. Professor Huang was ecstatic, spending hours in conversation with their xenobiologists. Commander Nash, however, noticed small inconsistencies in their behavior, subtle shifts in posture when certain topics were discussed, the way their guards positioned themselves, the questions they asked about Earth's military capabilities. On the 4th day, Commander Nash discovered why. While conducting a routine security sweep, her team detected unusual energy signatures from the Xaverian ships. They were charging weapons. "Governor," she reported, bursting into Tor's office, "the Xaverians are preparing for military action. Their diplomatic vessels are actually warships with masked weapon systems." Before Torres could respond, alarms blared throughout the colony. The Xaverian fleet had moved, taking up attack positions around Nuva-Terra's orbital defenses. Culver's image appeared on every communication screen in the colony. Gone was the diplomatic pleasantness, replaced by cold calculation. "Governor Torres, your species has proven remarkably adaptable. Our analysis suggests that, given time, humans could become a significant threat to the Empire's stability. We cannot allow this." "We've shown no hostility," Torres protested. "We've been transparent, peaceful." "Precisely," Culver interrupted. "Your transparency has allowed us to fully assess your capabilities and vulnerabilities. You will surrender your colony immediately. Those who resist will be eliminated. Those who submit will serve the Empire." As the transmission ended, The first shots were fired. Nuvaterra's orbital defense stations, despite their advanced human technology, crumpled under the Zevarians' superior firepower. Commander Nash quickly organized the evacuation of key personnel to hardened bunkers beneath the surface. "We need to warn Earth," she told Governor Torres as they hurried through underground tunnels. "The Zevarians won't stop with Nuvaterra. We're just the first target." Professor Huang, his earlier optimism shattered, worked frantically with the communication team to prepare a quantum-encrypted distress signal. "Earth needs to know everything, their technology, their tactics, their weaknesses. We might not survive, but humanity must be prepared." As the first Zevarian troops began landing on the surface, Nuvaterra's 2 million colonists faced a terrible choice: submit to alien domination or fight against impossible odds. Governor Tor's voice echoed through the colony's emergency broadcast system. "People of Nuvaterra, we stand at humanity's first test among the stars. We may fall, but we will show these invaders that humanity does not submit to tyranny. Earth will hear us. Earth will come. And the Zevarian Empire will learn that they have made a terrible mistake in underestimating the human spirit." The battle for Nuvaterra had begun, and with it, humanity's first interstellar war. No one yet knew it, but this conflict would reshape the destiny of both species and echo across the galaxy for centuries to come. The skies above New Valentia burned. Commander Olivia Nash watched from the underground command center as holographic displays showed Zevarian drop ships piercing the colony's atmospheric defenses. 6 hours had passed since their betrayal, and already the situation was desperate. "Status report," Governor Torres demanded, his face illuminated by the red emergency lighting. "We've lost 80% of our orbital infrastructure," Lieutenant Davidson reported, her fingers dancing across multiple control interfaces. "Ground defenses are holding in sectors 3 through 7, but the Zevarians are advancing through the agricultural districts. They're systematically destroying our food production facilities." Professor Huang burst into the command center, clutching a data tablet. "Governor, I've analyzed their communication patterns. They're not just invading, they're preparing for full resource extraction. They plan to strip mine the entire planet." Nash slammed her fist on the tactical display. "Not if we can help it. Our militia units are reporting success with guerrilla tactics. The Zevarians may have superior technology, but they're overconfident. They don't expect resistance." The colonial militia, though outgunned, had managed to bloody the alien invaders. Nuvaterra's citizens, many descended from Earth's military and pioneering families, refused to submit quietly. Every city block, every farming complex, every research facility became a battleground. In the medical center deep beneath the surface, Dr. Marcus Chen treated a constant stream of wounded defenders. "They're using some kind of energy weapon," he reported over the command channel. "But the wounds can be treated if we get to them quickly enough. Our people are adapting, learning to take cover from their firing patterns." Governor Torres coordinated the resistance from the command center, but his primary focus remained on their most crucial task, warning Earth. The quantum communication array, their only hope of sending a faster-than-light message, was located in a vulnerable surface facility. "Commander Nash," Torres called, his voice grave. "We need that message sent. Everything we've learned about their capabilities, their weaknesses, Earth needs this information." Nash nodded, already assembling her best tactical team. "Lieutenant Rodriguez, Sergeant Kelly, you're with me. We're going to the quantum array." As they prepared for the mission, Professor Huang approached Nash with a data crystal. "I've compiled everything, their ship configurations, weapon signatures, shield frequencies. Our scientists have been analyzing every engagement. If Earth gets this data, they'll have a fighting chance," Nash finished, securing the crystal in her tactical vest. The journey to the surface was a nightmare of urban combat. The Zevarians had deployed their mechanized units, towering war machines that stalked through the streets of New Valentia. Nash's team moved through maintenance tunnels and sewage systems, avoiding direct confrontation. "Their ground forces are organized in predictable patterns," Sergeant Kelly observed as they watched a Zevarian patrol pass. They rely too heavily on their technology, don't adapt well to unexpected situations. The quantum array facility was partially destroyed, but the core systems remained intact. As Rodriguez and Kelly established a defensive perimeter, Nash and the facility's surviving technicians worked to prepare the transmission. Multiple contacts approaching, Rodriguez warned. Heavy units, at least 20 ground troops. Nash's fingers flew over the controls, initializing the quantum entanglement process. The data crystal's contents began uploading to the array. 5 minutes to complete transmission. Hold them off. The defenders fought with desperate courage. Kelly's precision shooting dropped 3 Xaverian soldiers before they adapted their shield frequencies. Rodriguez used their own overconfidence against them, drawing them into prepared kill zones. But the aliens' superior numbers began to tell. A plasma blast caught Kelly in the leg, while Rodriguez's position was increasingly threatened by their advancing heavy weapons. Transmission at 60%, Nash announced, watching the progress bar with growing anxiety. Come on, come on. A massive explosion rocked the facility. Through the smoke, a Xaverian war machine emerged, its weapon systems targeting the quantum array. Nash drew her last plasma grenade, captured from a fallen alien soldier, and made a split-second decision. Rodriguez, get Kelly out of here. I'll finish the transmission. The grenade flew true, detonating against the war machine's optical sensors. Nash used the moment of confusion to redirect power from life support to the transmission systems. The progress bar jumped to 90%. The facility was collapsing around her as the Xaverian forces pressed their attack. Nash held her position, returning fire, watching the transmission progress with desperate intensity. When the confirmation finally flashed, transmission complete, she allowed herself a grim smile. This is Commander Olivia Nash, she spoke into her command link as enemy fire intensified around her. The message is away. Earth knows what's coming. Make these bastards pay for every inch. Back in the command center, Governor Torres received Nash's final transmission with stoic resolve. Commander Nash's sacrifice will not be in vain, he announced to his remaining staff. Phase 2 begins now. We may not be able to save Nuva Terra, but we can ensure the Xaverians face a costly occupation. Professor Huang, working with surviving colonial engineers, had already begun implementing a desperate plan. We're reprogramming our industrial fabricators, he explained. Every machine shop, every automated facility they try to capture will sabotage their equipment. Every database they access will corrupt their systems. The next week saw Nuva Terra's defenders fight a losing but costly battle. The Xaverians found every victory Pyrrhic, every captured resource booby-trapped, every technological system compromised. The colonists who couldn't fight became saboteurs, resistance members, or evacuated to hidden bunkers in the planet's vast cave systems. Governor Torres remained in the command center until the end, coordinating the resistance even as Xaverian forces breached the final defenses. His last message to the scattered colonial forces was brief but defiant. Remember Nuva Terra. Remember Commander Nash. Earth is coming, and with them, humanity's revenge. The fall of Nuva Terra would become a rallying cry for humanity, a symbol of both tragedy and determination. The Xaverians had won their first battle, but in doing so, they had awakened a sleeping giant. Across 17 light-years of space, Earth received the quantum transmission, and the response it would unleash would shake the foundations of the galaxy. Admiral Marcus Blackwood stood before the United Earth Defense Council, his weathered face grim as the holographic display showed the final moments of Nuva Terra's transmission. The council chamber, situated deep within the Himalayan command complex, had never been so silent. 2 million colonists, he said, his voice carrying to every corner of the room. Our most advanced colony, and now we know we're not alone in the universe, and our first contact wants us dead. Fleet Admiral Diana Reyes, Supreme Commander of Earth's combined military forces, stepped forward. At 65, she had helped build humanity's defense forces from a collection of national space programs into a unified fleet. The Xaverians believe they've found an easy target, Commander Nash's data tells us otherwise. The quantum transmission had included everything tactical analysis, technological specifications, battle recordings. Professor Huang's detailed scientific observations had already been distributed to Earth's top research facilities. Our advantages are clear, Admiral Reyes continued, activating a new holographic display. The Zevarians are technologically superior but inflexible. They follow predictable patterns, rely too heavily on their advanced systems, and most importantly, they've gravely underestimated us. Dr. Victor Rossi, head of Earth's Advanced Weapons Division, cleared his throat. We've already begun adapting our technology based on the Nuvaterra data. Their shield frequencies can be penetrated. Their AI systems can be corrupted. They believe their superiority is absolute. That will be their downfall. The council chamber erupted in discussion as military leaders and civilian administrators debated strategy. Admiral Blackwood waited patiently until President Helena Martinez called for order. "We all know what's at stake," the president said, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's future. "The Zevarians will not stop at Nuvaterra. Either we stop them there or we prepare for an invasion of Earth itself. Admiral Blackwood, you have command of Operation Righteous Thunder. Whatever you need, you'll have." Within hours, humanity's greatest military mobilization began. Every shipyard in the solar system worked at maximum capacity, incorporating new technologies developed from the Nuvaterra data. The asteroid belt's industrial facilities were converted to produce advanced weapons and countermeasures. In lunar orbit, Admiral Blackwood toured the flagship of Earth's response fleet, the EDS Nemesis. At 3 kilometers long, it represented everything humanity had learned about spacecraft construction, now enhanced with insights gained from studying the Zevarian technology. "They think we're primitive," he told Captain Jennifer Patel, the Nemesis's commanding officer, as they walked through the ship's central command deck. "They don't understand that humanity's greatest strength is our ability to adapt, to learn from our enemies." The Nemesis was just one part of Earth's response. 500 ships were being prepared, not as large as Zevarian vessels, but more numerous and incorporating features the aliens wouldn't expect. Each ship carried a new AI system designed by Dr. Rossi's team, capable of predicting and countering Zevarian battle tactics. Lieutenant General Hassan Ibrahim, commander of Earth's Marine Corps, oversaw the training of ground forces using simulated Zevarian combat tactics. "They fight like immortals," he explained to his officers. "They've never faced a serious challenge. We'll show them what happens when you corner a human being." In orbital laboratories, Dr. Emily Wang led the development of electronic warfare systems designed to exploit weaknesses in Zevarian technology. "Their systems are advanced but standardized," she reported to Admiral Blackwood. "Once we breach their security protocols in one system, we can compromise them all." The preparation extended beyond the military. Earth's governments united as never before, resources pooled, ancient rivalries set aside in the face of an existential threat. Industries were mobilized, populations prepared for possible invasion, evacuation plans developed for major cities. 3 months after receiving Nuvaterra's transmission, Operation Righteous Thunder was ready. The fleet gathered at Earth's L-5,500 ships crewed by humanity's finest, carrying the hopes and determination of an entire species. Admiral Blackwood addressed the fleet from the Nemesis's command deck. "The Zevarians believe they understand humanity. They analyzed our colony, assessed our technology, and decided we were primitive, easy prey. They're about to learn how wrong they are." He paused, looking at the faces of his bridge crew. "Every person in this fleet carries something the Zevarians don't understand: the accumulated knowledge of thousands of years of human warfare, the determination forged by countless struggles for survival, and now, the rage of a species that has witnessed the massacre of its people." The fleet's faster-than-light drive spooled up, preparing for the jump to Nuvaterra. In the final moments before departure, Admiral Blackwood received a message from President Martinez. "Remember Nuvaterra. Remember Commander Nash. Show them humanity's strength." The coordinates were set Nuva Terra, 17 light-years from Earth. The Zevarians had no idea what was coming. They thought they had found an easy conquest, a primitive species to subjugate. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant, a species that had spent its entire history preparing for this moment without even knowing it. As the fleet prepared for faster-than-light jump, Admiral Blackwood gave the final order. All ships, Combat Protocol Alpha, we are go for Operation Righteous Thunder. The Zevarians wanted to see humanity's potential. Let's give them a demonstration they'll never forget. 500 ships vanished into the depths of space, carrying with them humanity's response to its first interstellar threat. The Zevarians were about to learn that declaring war on humanity was the greatest mistake their empire had ever made. 500 ships emerged from faster-than-light travel in perfect formation at the edge of the Nuva Terra system. On the bridge of the EDS Nemesis, Admiral Blackwood watched as tactical displays showed the Zevarian occupation fleet, twice their number, but scattered across the system, unprepared for any significant resistance. "They're not even maintaining combat readiness," Captain Patel observed, her lips curling in a tight smile. "Send the signal." Dr. Wang's electronic warfare package deployed across the fleet, targeting the Zevarian communication networks. Before the aliens could raise their shields, their systems were flooded with chaos, false signals, phantom ship signatures, and corrupted command protocols. Multiple Zevarian vessels reporting system failures, Lieutenant Commander Rodriguez reported from his tactical station. "Their fleet coordination is fragmenting." Admiral Blackwood's voice carried across all channels. "All ships, execute Operation Righteous Thunder. Show them what humanity can do." The Earth fleet split into its component battle groups, each executing precisely planned maneuvers. Unlike the rigid, hierarchical Zevarian command structure, Earth's forces operated with tactical flexibility, each unit capable of independent action while maintaining strategic coordination. The first engagement occurred near Nuva Terra's outer moon. A Zevarian heavy cruiser, struggling with compromised systems, found itself surrounded by 5 smaller Earth vessels. The alien ship's superior shields meant nothing against the coordinated assault that followed. "They're adapting," Dr. Wang warned from her station aboard the Nemesis. "Zevarian ships are attempting to purge our cyber warfare protocols." "As expected," Blackwood replied calmly. "Initiate Phase 2. Across the system, Earth ships began deploying their secret weapons. Drone swarms, developed using insights from Professor Huang's research, overwhelmed Zevarian point defense systems. Modified mining charges, originally designed for asteroid demolition, proved devastating against the aliens' hull configurations. On the planet's surface, the occupation forces suddenly found their command networks disrupted. General Ibrahim's marine dropships descended through gaps in the defensive coverage, delivering strike teams to key locations. The surviving Nuva Terra resistance, led by the remnants of Commander Nash's forces, emerged from hiding to coordinate with the landing forces. The space battle intensified as the Zevarians recovered from their initial shock. Their superior firepower began to tell Earth ships exploded under concentrated energy weapon fire, their crews fighting to the last moment. But for every Earth vessel lost, the humans claimed 2 or 3 Zevarian ships through superior tactics and unexpected technical innovations. "Enemy flagship identified," Captain Patel announced. "High command vessel bearing 47. They're trying to coordinate a counterattack." Blackwood studied the tactical display. "Perfect. All according to plan. Battle Group Delta commence Operation Trojan." The next phase revealed humanity's most audacious strategy. What appeared to be damaged Earth vessels, drifting helplessly, were actually specialized boarding craft. They allowed themselves to be captured by Zevarian tractor beams, carrying elite marine strike teams directly into the heart of enemy ships. The Zevarian command vessels' shields meant nothing when the threat was already inside. General Ibrahim's specially trained teams fought their way through alien corridors, using tactics that the Zevarians, with their reliance on technological superiority, had never encountered. "Sir," Rodriguez called out, We're receiving a transmission from the Zevarian flagship. High Emissary Culver is requesting communication. The alien leader's image appeared on the main screen, his silvery skin now pallid with what humans would recognize as fear. "This is impossible," he declared. "You are a primitive species. Your technology is inferior." "You made a fundamental mistake," Blackwood replied, his voice hard. "You judged us by our technology alone. You never understood that humanity's greatest weapon is our ability to adapt, to take what we learn from every defeat and turn it into victory." As if to emphasize his words, another Zevarian heavy cruiser exploded under concentrated fire from Earth's vessels. The aliens' formation was breaking down, their carefully planned strategies useless against an enemy that refused to fight according to their expectations. "Surrender," Blackwood demanded, "or we'll show you just how primitive we can be." The battle for Terra lasted another 6 hours. The Zevarian occupation forces, cut off from their fleet support and faced with an enemy that seemed to anticipate their every move, began to surrender. Earth's Marines, supported by the colonial resistance, systematically liberated the surface installations. In the end, High Emissary Culver stood on the bridge of the Nemesis, formally surrendering to Admiral Blackwood and President Martinez, who had arrived via secure faster-than-light transport to witness this historic moment. "You must understand," Culver said, his pride broken. "We have conquered dozens of species. None have ever defeated us. None have ever adapted so quickly, fought so fiercely." "Then let this be a lesson," President Martinez replied. "Humanity does not seek war, but we will not submit to tyranny. Your empire thought we were primitive. Now you understand we are humanity, and we will never surrender." As Earth's forces secured the system and began the process of rebuilding Terra, Admiral Blackwood stood at a viewport, watching ships from both fleets now working together to clear the debris of battle. "Send word to Earth," he ordered. "The Terra system is secure, but this is just the beginning. The galaxy now knows humanity exists, and we've shown them exactly what we're capable of." The victory at Terra would mark humanity's emergence as a galactic power, but it was more than that. It was proof that determination, adaptability, and the indomitable human spirit could overcome any technological gap. The Zevarian Empire had sought to crush humanity's potential. Instead, they had unleashed it. 1 year after the Battle of Terra, the colony had been rebuilt, stronger than before. Where once stood vulnerable structures, now rose reinforced facilities incorporating both human ingenuity and adapted Zevarian technology. But the changes went far beyond mere infrastructure. Admiral Blackwood stood in the newly constructed interstellar assembly chamber, watching representatives from Earth's nations and colonies gather for a historic moment. The chamber itself symbolized humanity's transformation, built with a combination of Earth architecture and salvaged Zevarian materials. It represented the fusion of human determination with advanced alien technology. "Quite a change from a year ago," President Martinez said, joining him at the observation window. "The Zevarians thought they would end our expansion. Instead, they catalyzed it." The victory over the Zevarian Empire had done more than secure humanity's safety. It had revolutionized human civilization. The captured alien technology, combined with humanity's innovative spirit, had accelerated technological development by decades. But more importantly, it had united Earth's nations with a common purpose. Dr. Wang, now heading the new Xenotechnology Integration Division, approached with her latest report. "The Zevarian databases we captured have opened up entire new fields of science. Their star charts alone have identified thousands of potentially habitable worlds. But it's what we're doing with their technology that's truly revolutionary." Earth's shipyards were now producing vessels that combined human tactical flexibility with Zevarian technical sophistication. The new ships were smaller, more maneuverable, and incorporated features the Zevarians had never considered, innovations born from humanity's centuries of theoretical science fiction and practical warfare. General Ibrahim, supervising the training of the newly formed Terran Defense Force, had integrated lessons from the Terra campaign into a completely new military doctrine. "We're not just copying their technology," he explained to a group of cadets. "We're improving it, adapting it to human intuition and creativity." The assembly chamber filled as delegates took their seats. Among them were several Zavarian representatives, not as conquerors or enemies now, but as defeated foes seeking peaceful coexistence. The war's aftermath had revealed fractures in the Zavarian Empire, with many systems seeking independence from the rigid imperial structure. High Emissary Culver, now serving as the chief diplomatic liaison between humanity and the fragmenting Zavarian Empire, stood to address the assembly. "A year ago, we thought we were teaching humanity its place in the galaxy. Instead, you taught us that true strength lies not in technological superiority, but in the ability to adapt, to innovate, to unite in the face of adversity." Captain Patel, recently promoted to fleet commander, watched from her position near the chamber's entrance. The Nemesis, now the flagship of humanity's growing fleet, orbited overhead, a symbol of both human victory and transformation. "We're not just defending ourselves anymore," she observed to Admiral Blackwood. "We're becoming something new." President Martinez took the podium, her voice carrying to every corner of the chamber and broadcasting to billions across Earth and its colonies. "Today, we establish the Terran Alliance, not just a defensive pact, but a declaration of humanity's place among the stars." The Zavarian Empire thought they found an easy target. Instead, they awakened a sleeping giant. The formation of the Terran Alliance marked more than just a political transformation. It represented humanity's evolution from a planetary species to an interstellar civilization. The knowledge gained from the Zavarian conflict had opened up the galaxy, but it was human innovation that would chart the path forward. Research stations across the solar system worked to unlock new technological frontiers. Dr. Rossi's weapons division had been transformed into the Advanced Technologies Institute, focusing not just on military applications, but on innovations that would benefit all of humanity. "We're not just reverse engineering their technology," he explained. "We're reimagining it." The Nuvatera resistance fighters, led by the survivors of Commander Nash's original team, became the core of a new exploration and rapid response force. Their experience fighting against superior technology had proven invaluable in developing new tactical doctrines. As the assembly concluded its historic session, Admiral Blackwood received word that the first wave of new exploration vessels was ready for launch. These ships would carry humanity's flag to the stars, not as conquerors like the Zavarians, but as explorers and innovators. "The galaxy's a bigger place than the Zavarians imagined," he told the assembled fleet commanders. "And humanity's role in it will be greater than anyone could have predicted. We've proven we can fight when we must now let's prove we can build something greater than the empire that tried to destroy us." The Terran Alliance ships lifting off from Earth shipyards carried with them not just crews and weapons, but the hopes and dreams of a species that had discovered its true potential. The Zavarian invasion had sought to end humanity's expansion into space. Instead, it had given humanity the keys to the galaxy. As the first wave of exploration ships disappeared into faster-than-light travel, Admiral Blackwood recalled Commander Nash's final transmission from the fall of Nuvatera. She had died ensuring Earth would be warned, but her sacrifice had achieved something far greater. It had unified humanity and launched a new era of human history. The stars above Earth glowed with new promise. Humanity had faced its first interstellar trial and emerged not just victorious, but transformed. The age of the Terran Alliance had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same.